Hi, I'm Liz Mason. I'm the CEO and founder of High Rock Accounting. I started High Rock with two missions in mind, focusing on humans and utilizing really cool technology. We do everything from bookkeeping up to CFO services, lots of consulting, advisory, budgeting, FP&A. We partner with our clients very deeply to try and help them grow their businesses while making sure that our people are handled very well. So with Analytix, we've been using bookkeeping and accounting services. Our team has been scaling very quickly. We just hit the Inc. 5000 last year in 2022, which was really exciting. But that also meant we had over 100% growth for 3 years running. Now, if you've ever scaled a business, you understand that doing that is very difficult, and human capital in this market is one of the most difficult things that we handle. Now, being able to work with the analytics team on the bookkeeping side has allowed our team to increase what they're doing, focus more on the advisory, so that our bookkeeping and accounting is handled at night while we're sleeping, which is pretty incredible. The pandemic really affected the job market. It affected the way we were able to hire, where we were able to hire. We reached out to Analytix at a moment when we needed help on the bookkeeping and accounting side, and we needed that back office support that we weren't getting from our team, and our team was burnt out, to be honest. We were growing too quickly, and we were dealing with so many different changes during the pandemic that it just created too many issues for us. And so when we partnered with Analytix, we partnered with the idea that we could utilize a team in India that was well-trained, that was well-managed, that was working with other US-based companies to do accounting and bookkeeping. And our whole goal was to utilize the Analytix team as part of our own team to be able to service our clients better, to be able to make sure we were doing daily accounting versus weekly, to make sure that the books were up to date and questions were coming out to our clients in real time. We were struggling with communication with our clients. If we had a delay in sending questions, it would take even longer to close the books, and then they would be frustrated and they didn't see the value of what we were doing. And so we truly needed more help and more support. But we struggled with hiring and we struggled with training. And we reached out to Analytix to solve those two very basic but very critical issues. And what we've been happiest with is when we actually invest the time to train the Analytix team and work with them and teach them what we need and how we need them, the progress that we see and the ability of their team to learn and develop and the desire to do so is what we've been happiest with. What I really appreciated about working with Analytix was that instead of actually hiring somebody directly and being subject to those HR laws, Analytix handles all of that. Analytix provides everyone computers, and they made sure in the midst of the pandemic, everyone had a setup at home and everyone was able to, do their job and continue the workflow. And yes, of course, there were communication gaps or issues or other things, but we dealt with that in the US too. That wasn't unique to being in a different country. And so, I think the outsourcing stigma that exists in the US is unfortunate. And I think that you can find the right way for your business to do it. And I'm lucky that we were able to work with the Analytix team through that to solve for those problems without having to deal with some of the issues. We only have 30 employees on our team. So it's not like we have a brand name that we can go, to market with and say, hire the best person. And so we reached out in a bit of a crisis. Last year, we had, unfortunately, a team member that was sick, and we had some other issues on the tax team, and we had grown significantly and needed support. And they, in a heartbeat, said, we have people, they will absolutely work with you. We can take on this number of returns. This is our turnaround time, and they delivered. And that was the biggest surprise to us from working with the team and just having the support of a larger team that also, has well-trained individuals and was able to take on that burden that was such a big deal to us. And it was a very easy thing for them to do, and it went very smoothly. So an unexpected bonus was learning that the Analytix team had people in multiple different areas. So it's not just accounting. We came on to work with the team on accounting. We wanted to have that back office support for a very specific use case. And as we got deeper in the relationship, we learned about the tax team. We learned about the IT team. We learned about the security team and, learned that they're building this FP&A team. And really becoming a one-stop shop for back office support for all businesses. And the team has doubled, I believe, in the time we've worked, just in the few short years. And that to me speaks in volumes about the company and the culture and the way that they're envisioning the growth of this. And so the biggest unexpected benefit to us was being able to leverage those other teams, as well as knowing at any point in time I can call and say, hey, I need help with this issue. Do you have anyone on the team that could do this? Or is this something you're in at all? Do you have capacity for the future? And it's a collaborative relationship. And so to me, it's not we're paying for a very specific service. We're building a relationship with a very large team that's able to support our business in many ways, including our own internal business. We've used services from Analytix. And I have to say that was not the expectation coming into the relationship, but it is absolutely vital to continuing the relationship and has been unexpectedly amazing. So one situation we dealt with, which was very difficult internally, is our internal accountant retired. And she retired about 2 years before she had planned to, because she has 3 wonderful grandkids that she wanted to go take care of. And we absolutely loved that for her and wanted to support her in that journey. But we hadn't planned for it, and we had no one trained on our internal billing processes and our internal accounting processes. And so, we had one person on the team that we pulled over to be our internal, more in line with controller, but she couldn't do it all. It was too much for her with her other job duties. And so we called in, kind of a critical situation moment where we had about 3 weeks to figure out what we were going to do with our own internal accounting, and said, hey, is there anyone on the team that can pick this up and help us with these very specific things that are critical to our business moving forward? Because as business owners, that's the last thing you want to take back, is doing all the day-to-day bookkeeping, accounting detail, and making sure that that's all done right. And in a heartbeat, the Analytix team said, absolutely, we'll get someone on it tomorrow. And we were able to transition that work over very quickly, and they've been doing a really good job. And in the process, they were able to find, some things that our retiring bookkeeper had either been lackadaisical on or was not fully done to the standards that we would expect. And they brought it up immediately and said, hey, we see a little bit of cleanup work. We'll go ahead and do that for you and then move forward with what you've requested. And of course, there's a training process, but there were definitely more detailed and more considerate of our needs than we had expected coming into that critical moment. For me, working with Analytix has been a relationship and an evolving relationship, and it's critical to maintain that communication. So I would say if you're thinking about working with that team, make sure that you're ready to do the communication back and you're ready to work with them as if they were your internal team, knowing that you have to train and develop and communicate and work with them to be better professionals. If your expectations are that you don't have to communicate and things will be done perfect the first time, that's extremely unrealistic. It's unrealistic in any situation. But I also want everyone walking into that relationship with eyes wide open.